Hello guys, it's Paula back to finish putting the paper on the book. It has dried now and we are ready to do that. Now I inked all the edges so you wouldn't have to set through that. That took a while. And I put down the two back covers. So we're going to do the front of the book. And let me see. We'll do the inside front first. So here's the inside. This is how this one side looks. Turned out pretty good, huh? Oh, and also I added some black velvet trim to go over those seams. I forgot to do that and realized it when I was seeing if it was dry. Okay, so we've got this inked. So what I'm going to do, I thought I was going to, just FYI, when you do this, I was going to put the paper up over this trim, but because of this velvet trim that I added to the fabric, it's a little puffy and full. It was the only black I had in the right size. And I wanted to get it done tonight. So instead, I just shortened the paper a little bit. And we're going to scoot it as close and butt it up as close as you can without it flipping the page up. Now, I did have to trim these inside sheets a little more than I thought I would, but yeah, I'm just making sure everything's going to be even on here. Listen, I just follow the paper that's already on the book. So, they always put paper on the inside. And I just make sure that none of that is going to show. And I make sure it's covered. And then I butt this paper up as close to this fabric as you can. Okay. So, I'm getting it in place. I think I know where it needs to go. So now we're going to glue it. It's exciting to get this close. But I will tell you, when I do this, I'm going to turn this book sideways. When I put the glue on here, I make sure I get the corners. Because, like I do a circle, then I kind of go up in the corner, but not with heavy glue. And then you want to go along the side, real good, because you don't want the sides lifting up. So I always do those first and then go up to that very point. And believe it or not, I did the tube and didn't have any of them seep glue. So I felt pretty happy about that. So I do like what would be like 3 rows, I guess, of glue. Oh, crud. You always got to get glue on you sometime. All right. I just don't want it to go around on the other side. Anyway, so basically we have to cover this whole thing. Now, it doesn't have to be solid. You see how I'm doing this randomly here. And my main thing is, that as much gets covered as possible. I got to flip this around and find a place to hang on to it so I can do this side. That's the hard part. Try to find a place that doesn't have glue on it. So after we glue this book down, I have a project to do. It's not hard or difficult, but I just thought we'll have time left because it's not going to take that long. Like we've already got this side ready to go down. Now, what's very important to make sure you're putting it upright. So I know that this one and this one are upright. So you always double check, because that would be disappointing, wouldn't it? After all the work we've done, to end up not being able to use it because, you know, that would stink actually. So I line up one corner and make sure it's covering, because usually it will cover the others. And you can move your paper if it doesn't, because that is the nice thing about Fabri-Tac. You can, let me make sure can you guys see? Okay, good. Okay, now let me turn this where I can kind of reach it. Okay, I want to make sure it's on over here like I wanted it. I did take it up a little bit on, I'm looking to make sure it matches up, and so far we're good. Now I could have added some more of the black trim in here to, you know, because if you look real close, super close, you can see, you know, a little slight crack between the paper and the design. And I might still decide to do that, but I've got to give it some thought and, you know. Okay. You want to just press on it really good, and then make sure before you let it go and move on that it's sticking like it should. Because once it dries, there's no getting glue under there. You know what I mean? So I really want the sides, the edges, to be down. Need a little bit. What did I do with my little wipey? It's like it just disappeared out of the blue. If you're going to try to get in tiny spots, you got to have your glue head clean. And I'm going to, I've got this one corner. This one corner I had butt up over the fabric a tiny bit because of how it looked. You know, it had too big of a gap. But I didn't really mean for it to be this much, but it's going to be fine because I just added extra glue. You know, you can cut the paper identical on measurements and be very precise. And still, everything's not square. Drives me crazy. Are you guys like that? I mean, how many trimmers have I had in my lifetime, you know? A lot. A lot more than I like to think about. And I just recently got one for chipboard. Rick got it for me for Christmas, and I love that thing. It's sat in the box for a long time. But anyway, okay, we're ready to flip it over. Okay, are you ready? Where did the other piece of paper go? That is weird. Oh, it's over here. It's not upright. I must have laid it down without it being upright. Okay, so here we go. And we've got tops on that, so everything's perfect over there. And here is the back. Now we're going to do the front right here. And I'm going to line it up. Now the front, I wanted it to go really close, you know, closer to the edge because, no, I took it over the top. I'm sorry. I took it over the top because it wouldn't have a big dip in it. And so I wanted to do that. All right, I just wanted to double check how I did the other one. And here we go. We're going to put the glue on this one. Now, I recommend anytime you do something that has a lot of glue like this, that you don't move on to the next part as far as the book goes. You can work on embellishments or whatever, but I want to make sure it dries and it doesn't slide around. So that's why I do it like that. So this is the third video I've made today. Now you won't see them all in one day, but I was trying to catch up. Catch up. Now, I'm not going to be binding this book on camera because it's too hard to... I like to be able to concentrate, and I know you all know how to do that. If you ever need me to, I can do it on a simpler book, but a big book like this is, I don't know. The process is the same, but it's different when you're handling different thickness of paper. So, all right. Make sure it's upright. And it is. Can you guys see? I'm going to move it up a little bit. Let me move it up. All right, here we go. Now, I usually start out at the edge of the paper because I want it to be as close as I can to the edge, and I want it to cover anything it needs to cover. Now, this one didn't have paper inside it because it was the actual cover, and I think it's lots easier to do the cover compared to the other. Okay, let's see how this looks when we fold it down. A little glue right there. Okay. Let me get that off. Because there's a little bit of fabric under this one particular spot. Because I laid this up on the fabric. This Fabri-Tac, even though it's called Fabri-Tac, bonds fabric, lace, glass, leather, wood, and trims. And also, whenever it bonds fabric, it leaves just a gunkiness. So if you see stuff on your fabric where it's oozed out or whatever, I mean, it's almost impossible to get it off of there. And I don't want to get the paper wet, so I'm not going to worry about it that much. It's not something anybody will notice. It's something I notice. And that's my problem. Okay, so we're going to just keep trying to, especially this one that goes down on the fabric, because I don't want it to come loose. And the only glue that seeped out was that one little spot. So that's pretty good, right? I'm very pleased with this book. I'm going to have a hard time giving it away. Not giving it away. I'm not giving it away. But letting it go, you know. And so, but I just ordered another pack of this today for myself. Now, I won't make a book. I'm not making a book because I can barely keep up with the book I've got because I've been so busy. But that's okay. I'd rather be busy than to just sit down and try to figure out what to say when you hadn't done anything all day. Usually it's short and sweet, or I share something. I don't know, but I miss it a lot of days. So I've decided that rather than just journaling in mine, that I will keep notes of what I need to do and any kind of dates or anything like that, and journal in between when I have something to say. I still don't have my book out and decorated that I did at Christmas. So I'm going to show you what it looks like bent. Can you see that? Let me stand up and make sure. So this is how it looks bent. Had no seepage on the spine at all. Now, you would have the option on this. You could add trim if you wanted to, but this is too busy to do that. And that's why I didn't do it in here either, except on this seam. I don't like to leave raw seams. So, this is how it came out. The next thing will be binding the pages, and then we'll decorate it together. I've made a lot of the embellishments, and we're going to make one now. I'm going to set this aside to dry. Excuse me while I do that. Okay, now we're going to do... I made one of these for the book. One of these sacks. And I decided I wanted to do another one for the other signature because I just like the way it turned out. And I'll show it to you in a minute. So this is all the stuff I'm going to use in the book. Or in the... It's not a book, you guys. It's not a book. In the bag. And so, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make the front or the back of the bag look like the front of the bag. Okay? So, we're going to trim this open so it's like it has, you know, 2 openings. And I can't remember... I don't know if that was far enough. Yeah, that actually was enough. Okay, so let me look at my other one over here so I know exactly how we did it. Okay, so we're going to flip this back here. Now, this is going to be the front on this back portion, and this is going to be the front, obviously, on the front. So, the first thing I'm going to do, and I'm going to try to do this without any, with just looking across at this bag I've got here. So, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get it to match the other side. So, I've got my pinking shears, and I'm going to cut it just as if it was done by the manufacturer. Because you have to kind of go slow doing this because you have to make sure you're going back. And these are so tight, I could almost use both hands on them. And I haven't had these very long. But I sure have used them. Now, when you get down here, you want to curve back down. Not too bad, see? I think I'm going to curve it right here a little bit more. Okay, now I cut them both even though they're both not supposed to be cut, so that I could go back. And I thought it'd be easier than trying to wrestle this front that's in the way. So what I'm going to do is, let me see how I did that. Okay, I'm going to cut a portion of this from the front off. Just like that. Now we are going to go back with the pinking shears. And I'm going to pull that little piece off. Okay, now we've got this, but I want this to have the pinking shears design as well. So I'm going to go all the way down to where the bag starts. I say I am. That's what I'm planning. I might have to turn it a little sideways to start. And you want to keep this as straight as you can. Now, I say that, but if you got a bag that's being ornery, just do the best you can. Cutting that out of my way. It's driving me nuts. This is hard to kind of get down in here to do these, but you just have to be patient. Come on. There we go. So, I got a story to tell you tonight. Mama texted Papa and I about Charlie's and Lucy's play. They're in The Wizard of Oz. And Charlie's never done anything where he's out in front of people. And so, they had a show last night, a matinee today, and a show tonight. And so, or maybe just a show tonight. I don't remember. I think they had a matinee, but I think they had like 3 or 4 shows. Anyway, so tomorrow's when Papa and I go to see them. But Lucy is sick. She's running 102 fever. So she didn't get to go to this evening's. She went to this morning's, and she was running such a fever, you know, she didn't get to go tonight. But Charlie went, and, well, first of all, he performed the first time Friday night. And I'm sorry, I can't even talk. I'm so dry-mouthed. But here's how this turned out. Now, it's not straight enough for me. I want it to be, you know, straight across the top. Of course, it may just be the back of this looking like it's not. Anyway, so he went to the play on, they got to go on Friday, and Charlie's a Munchkin, and Lucy, I don't know exactly what her title is. I can't remember. She's done a lot of plays, so I know she did good. But this was Charlie's first. And, you know, he's just so little that when people see him, they think he's lots younger than he is. And so to see him do whatever he does, they're like, oh, look at that little baby performing up there. Well, no, maybe not baby. More like 2-year-old. No, actually, he's grown the last few months. Okay, so we're not going to ink this bag. That's not necessary. The first thing we're going to do is get some lace. And we're going to add lace across the front. But anyway, Friday night, Ashley said it took everything they had to get him out on the stage. And then he, let me see, I think this is about the same width as the other one. He finally did. I mean, he's out right in the front because he's the littlest and he wouldn't be seen if, you know. Anyway, and so he came out on stage and he was looking up in the up at the ceiling and all the curtains. And even though he's been out there, but he was really interested in all the people. So he was checking all the people out before he did anything. Ashley said it was pretty funny. And she said the people were going, "Aw." And Ashley says, I was thinking, just do it. But anyway, he, let me see. I'm rattling on here and don't have my glue or my lace in the right place. So that was Friday night. And he did sing and do his movement a little bit Friday night, but he didn't really. And then Ashley talked to him when she got home. She didn't get on to him because this is a new experience for him. But she just told him, you know, you have to, when you get out there, you can't look at the people till you're done. Anyway, so she texted me a little bit ago and said that tonight's show, he actually actually did his part. He sang and he did his little dance. And anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you guys. And now I'm excited to go see him tomorrow. We're going to see him about 2 o'clock as the matinee. And hopefully Lucy will be able to be in the matinee because I haven't seen her in quite a while. She's getting at that age where she hangs with her friends, goes to the mall. But anyway, I know those days are the days we dread as grandparents. I remember when my grandson got old enough, he was like 12. I said to him, my oldest one, he's sitting on my lap, you know, or next to me in the chair. I mean, he would do it right now. This is the first year he hasn't done that. And that's because he'd probably kill me. He's so big. But he's thin, but he's tall. Anyway, okay, so we're going to fold this one like this. We're going to work on this top part before we do the second part. So, anyway, I asked him, I said, are you going to be available when you're grown and older and like in college or, you know, senior or something like that? Are you still going to come see your Grammy? He goes, absolutely. He says, I'm going to come see you forever. And he would live over, he's told me more than once, Grammy, I'd live with you. I'm like, Grammy would love to say that's a good idea, but Mom and Dad might not agree with me on that. And I probably would be ready to send him back after a day or two. I can handle them a couple days, all of them. I mean, they just have too much energy. I mean, keeps you moving, and not that we shouldn't be moving, but okay, so remember the paper flowers we made? I'm almost out of them. I'm going to have to make me some more because I have found that I really like using them. They're flatter, you know, than your average. See, look at this, how, you know, that's not going to hurt if it gets crinkled up because it's a crinkled up flower. So if you haven't made some, you need to go back and look, especially the paper ones. I'm not as fond of, I haven't used the fabric ones. Even though I frayed all the edges on them, I feel like they're too flat, you know. You can still tell they're flowers and everything, but I prefer these flowers here. All right, now you know that this is still very wet. And so when you stick your arm in it and bring it over, you're going to get glue. So you got to be careful. So that's the top. I mean, how easy is that? You know, I felt like that was simple, but yet made a statement. So we're going to make what goes in the on the inside. And no, actually, let's finish the outside first. Okay. No, how did I do that? We probably should finish this when it gives this a chance to dry. I'm going to have to turn my fan on. I'm sorry. These lights, it doesn't take long for the lights to really bother me. So I start getting hot. I can't concentrate on anything else. Okay, so now we're going to, I've inked everything so we don't have to mess with that. We're going to put our journaling card in and a index card with a tab together to put inside the pocket, because it is a really big pocket, you know, because this is not the tiny bags. These are, I'll tell you what size they are. Okay, let me get over here. They are 8 1/4 wide, and if you no, wait a minute, that's not true. I had them on a part of this that wasn't part of the measuring. 9 1/4 wide, and as far as the length, they are, let me get it here, 12. So this is 12 and this is 9 1/4. If I'm telling you that, so if you want to get some, you know what size to pick up. So now we're going to do this index card, and I'm just putting glue. Now this is We Are Memory Keepers punch. If you fold your paper and put it in there at the right angle, you can make it flip over instead of gluing 2 single sheets on. I wished I'd known about that when I was doing my Bible journal. I've worked on my kids' Bible for a long time, but since I've been doing my YouTube channel, I haven't had as much time, so I've got to get back on it. That's the kind of journaling that I'm more faithful to, but I haven't been for the last few months. I'm ashamed of myself for not working on my journal. I just need to bring it out and do it. I'm working on my daughter's now. Got like 100 entries in my son's, and so I'm trying to get to the point that I have 100 in hers. So I worked on his for 1 year, and then I worked on hers, and I just didn't get it all done. All right, so that is dry, and this is ready, obviously, and it has places on the back to journal, and then it's got this cool butterfly. So I'm going to set this aside, and we're going to fix the other one. That way it gives the front more time to dry. I'll show you this punch as soon as I'm done putting this tab on. I'm going to show you because I'm sure there's some of you out there that's never done it. I don't know that for sure, but I'm assuming. Okay, and I don't want it to be a difficult thing for anybody. It's really simple. Didn't put that quite down as far as I wanted to. Now, on my other book, I didn't use this same punch. I used a die cut, and so it's a little bit different shape. I'll show it to you here in a minute after I clean up my glue mess. Oh good, there's not any back here. It's just eased out a little bit on the side. So if you notice, I'm trying to alternate the blue and the red, and the reason is I just thought it'd give it a little bit, you know, variety. That way when you look in one pocket, it's going to be red and blue. When you look in another pocket, it's going to be, the tab's going to be red instead of blue. And, you know, the journaling card is blue. So it just mixes it up a little bit. Okay, so both of those are ready. I'll show you how to do this punch, and then I will, this is the punch. It's by Memory Keepers. I'm getting a piece of paper. If I can find one, the right size. Okay. So you want to fold it about 1.25 inches, okay? And then you have to trim this off. Okay? Then you turn it upside down, and here is the bottom of the tab. Let me make sure you can see. And this is the top of the tab. So you want to put your paper in, and you want to see what you're doing. See? And you're going to pull it down and see the gap there? You're going to pull it back up, but you're going to keep a gap there so you don't cut that portion. So you're just going to leave a small little crack. And there you go. You have your tab. Now, I'm going to show you what it would do if you didn't do that. If I can get it unjammed. So if you just picked up a piece of paper and slid it in like you do, this is what you would get. A single tab. And now you can, by pulling it down and watching where you're punching, you can get this one. Just a little tidbit there. Okay, so now I'll put this back over here. We're gonna set these over here to dry, and we're going to go to the next page because this is much drier. Gonna get our lace. This is some of that lace that I got in Ohio. No, was it Ohio? I can't remember. When I brought home that bag, just huge bag of lace that was just, I'll never use it all. But I hope to. I hope I live that long. Okay, so you can flip this over and see if you're putting your lace in the right spot, and I was up too high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little squares up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, I have it in the right spot. So this side's already cut. So I got to cut this side. So I'll just take my scissors. It'd help if I had it in the right direction. Can't really see from the side. So I have my scissors over here so it's lined up now, and then we'll cut. I'm sure that I will have to trim some off anyway, but all right, so now I'm going to go back to this side so we can okay, I want to make sure we're going down the right amount. We're just going to do the glue down this way. And then up the side right here and back down. You can kind of eyeball. This is like 1 1/4 inch. And it's not going to take that much to hold that lace down. And then you just lay it down here. Okay. This side's a little raggy on the right side. I don't know how it got like that. So I'm going to trim it. All right, so now we're going to making sure these flaps are down on the bag, but they are. We're going to put the flower in the very same spot. Now I'm thinking, let me look. No, I'm going to do the opposite side. I did the opposite side just to do it different. Yeah. So it's going to go over here. And I really should have spread these leaves out, and you know, I got to where I was making so many, I was just like, ugh. Okay. I'll put them right there. Now, make sure this is adhered, and we will have this done. Now, I'm trying to come up with another thing. I'm not going to show it to you because it won't be a surprise. But another project after this video. After I do this one, it will go up the next day. I've been trying to work ahead this weekend. So tomorrow morning there'll be another video go up. This is still Saturday, and this is my third video today. So yeah, I have been busy. So I'm going to lay that back like that since it's still drying. And I'm going to put the red tab in here, and this is a perfect thing to use. These index cards, this is the large size. It's the perfect thing, guys, to buy. That's inexpensive. You want small, and I guess this is medium or large. You want, and I'll tell you what size it is. 6 by 4. So this is like a large sterling card, 6 by 4. And you want these because you can tea stain them. And I put them in my envelopes, you know, and I'm going to slide my card, journaling card. There's going to be so many places in this book to journal. It's going to be crazy. And then we're going to bring this one over. And we're going to go ahead and slide in the index card on one side. And I can't remember which one I wanted. I think I wanted this floral popped up because it's bright. And then this one. So I'm going to bring the dry one over. So whenever it's all dry, I got to get this folded. When I stuffed it down in there, you know, the book isn't bound yet. So these will be bound into the book. They will be put into the pages. And I'm going to show you what I mean. I'm just trying to get this one to straighten up. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to get one out and show you. You guys aren't going to believe how beautiful this book is. I'll give you one peek. Don't look. Don't tell anybody. It's got a lot of those in this book. Okay, so let's say I put it, I want to kind of put it away from any of the other pages. So it's going to be behind the typewriter page on right after the third. No, I don't want to do it that far back. Let's see. We'll do it in front of this children's, I think it's grandma. I can't remember. Right behind that tea stained paper. So it will go in here. Whoops, I'm dropping everything. This is the dry one that I made the other day and just thought you guys would like to see how I did this. This is going to go right here just like it's a sheet of paper. And you line it up in the fold. Now, where is it? Can't even find it now. It's up this way. So see, when you open it and you open the pages and you flip by, you're looking at the book, bam, there it's gonna be, just like a sheet of paper. And I think that's a fun way to do these. You know, the little ones are cute, and the 10 size envelopes are cute, but this is a sack, and it is not going to show up again till we get further over toward the back, and there's the second part. And so, yeah, I'm loving it. So I have this fruit jar in here, and I thought I would stamp some butterflies in here. I just haven't got to do that yet. And we'll see what happens and see what it ends up looking like. I'll probably do them in different colors. But, because I have the Flutter stamps from Tim Holtz, and I want to stamp with those kind of all over this page or in this jar, and then in random places that I feel like it needs something. All right, guys, well, that is the end of tonight's video, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you'll give me a thumbs up. And we're been on here almost 50 minutes. Crazy how time flies, right? But what I did, I don't know if I told you this or not. So Charlie didn't perform the first night. He just kind of went out there, looked at the ceiling, looked at the people, kind of stood there and would move every now and then. And the people in the audience would go, "Aw," like, you know, he's so cute, he's so little. I'm glad they didn't laugh, because that might have made him cry. But there's a lot of kids on the stage with him at that time. But he tonight he performed. He sang through the whole thing, and he did his little dance. And so I'm anxious. See, I wait till the last one, because then they've really got it down. And we're looking forward to it. I'll give you a report whenever we're past that and I do the next video after that. So if you haven't subscribed, please do. We're working on that rainbow book, and when this book is complete, we'll do another page. But then we're going to do another book, and then we'll do another page, and then at that point I will try to work in the time to get, you know, the cover made between now and the time I reach 2,000 subscribers. So share the videos, share them on Instagram, you know, on Facebook, on some of the like the Foxy Crafters or the Junk Journal Junkies. I think that's the ones that I know of the best. And I know that different ones have Facebook pages also. So if you can do that, that will help me get to that point where I can do my next giveaway. And I love doing that. So wish you guys good night, and I'll see you next time. Bye.